Okay, so appendages of the skin. So all the weird stuff that's in the skin, that's not the actual dermis and epidermis, is today's topic. It includes cutaneous glands. Who remembers what's cutaneous mean? It was one of your vocab terms. It's a dry membrane. It's going to be something that's exposed to the air. Okay, it includes the hair. I think most of us could come up with that. Hair follicles, which is a little receptacle where the hair grows from, and nails are all considered appendages of the skin. And that's because they come up through the epidermis. Yep. Again, if I get ahead of you, just gel. Okay, so cutaneous glands, we have what's called exocrine glands. Again, the materials exiting from these glands is going to the outside of the body. That could also include going into your digestive tract. Remember, that is still considered part of the outside of your body. We have two groups of cutaneous glands. Okay, so what are things that are being released outside of your body?
Oil.
Oil's one. What's the other thing that we
Sweat.
Sweat. Okay, we already know that, right? We just need to come up with terms for it. Okay, we have what's called sebaceous glands. Sebaceous is a fancy word for oil glands. They produce a product that's called sebum, and it's a mixture of oils and cell fragments. So that stuff that's in the pores is not just all oil, it's also remnants of old cells that have been broken down, and the body's trying to get rid of them. Sometimes it's going to maybe even be toxins. And this gives us lovely blackheads, whiteheads, and seborrhea when the pores get plugged up.
What's seborrhea?
We'll learn more about that in the next set of notes.
Oh, that's the T, I guess.
Gland number 2 are the sweat glands. These are also known as sudoriferous glands. To help you to remember sudoriferous, you see the word odor in the middle of it, or sort of the word odor in the middle of it. That helps me remember that sudoriferous glands are sweat glands because they have a tendency, along with bacteria, to cause us to stink. If in doubt, walk through the junior high part of the building. Okay, on our sweat glands, we have two types. We have what's called eccrine. Eccrine are found everywhere. They're found all over the body. The other one's called apocrine, and these are found in armpits and genital areas, and they are not always active. They start coming into production about the time you hit puberty. So again, when you look at our pretty little drawing here, when you look at our model here, you can see all of these things that are sending stuff out of the body. These are all glands. Again, some of them are going to be sebaceous, some of them are going to be oil. Now, question, where do you normally in your body associate oil glands?
In your bowel. Hands.
What part of your body would you associate with oil glands? Hair. Again, remember, hair's all over your body. But sebaceous oil, the oil glands tend to release material through the air, through the hair follicles. Okay, which is next. It's found on all body surfaces with the exception of the palm of your hands and the sole of your feet, which kind of makes sense because they would probably just get rubbed off if they were on the soles of your hands, or, yeah, and the soles of your feet and palms of your hands. You are born with all of your hair follicles. So, you know, you have thin hair when you're a little kid. I'm sorry, you're stuck with thin hair probably for the rest of your life unless you have transplant or something done. And the hair is there for a reason. besides just annoying us in the morning when we have a bad hair day. It protects us from bumps. It shields our eyes, like in case of eyelashes and eyebrows. It helps keep foreign particles out of the respiratory passages. So we've got all these little hairs in our respiratory passages, or cilia, because remember cilia are hairs that help to move particles and trash up and out of the respiratory passages. So again, it's there for a reason. And just case in point, my husband is just about bald as a bat, has been since I've known him. And every time he mows the yard, he bumps his head and he gets another skinned place. So yeah, it's there for a reason. And historically, you go back to primitive man, they were a lot hairier because they needed a lot more protection. And it's one of the fastest growing tissues in the body. And the reason this is significant is if you're undergoing cancer treatment, what can you tell me about chemotherapy?
It just destroys all your cells and your hair falls out.
Why does your hair fall out? Yes, normally people who are undergoing chemo, their hair gets really, really thin, or even they lose it all. Why?
So it falls out because it kills all of the fastest growing cells. So doing that, it kills your hair too.
Exactly. Okay. So chemotherapy is designed to attack fast-growing cells or fast-multiplying cells, and because cancer tends to be fast-multiplying. Well, your hair is also fast-multiplying, so chemo will a lot of times cause hair loss. Excuse me. Okay, nails, like your fingernails, your toenails, it's just modified epidermis. Okay, so it's just like the top layer of your skin, it's just slightly modified. It has a free edge, a body, and a root, which kind of makes sense when you think about it. My free edge is going to be my edge, my body's going to be the bulk of it, and the root's going to be what sticks down to my finger underneath the cuticle, which is what the borders are called. Borders are called cuticles. And I'm guessing most of us at some point in our life have had hangnail, and we've trimmed away the cuticle because otherwise it gets caught and tears and hurts like a son of a gun. Nails look pink because there's blood supply beneath the nail. What's that blood supply going to be supplied by? What part of the membrane? Papillary layer in the
What?
where's the papillary layer found?
It's a P.
Dermis?
In the dermis. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is the top layer. So what's beneath that is going to be dermis. Okay. That white part, that white moon that we see at the base of our nail is called the lunule. And the only reason it's whiter is because your nail is thicker there. So we don't see as much of the blood underneath. Again, if you're looking at your fingernail, here's my free edge, here's my body, here's my root down here, here's my cuticle that's lining it, and right there's my white spot, and that's my lunule. Maybe. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's it.
Oh,
I knew they were
that's
short.
nasty.